What if jealousy never announced itself? What if it didn't arrive with hostility, with aggression, or with obvious resentment? What if instead it arrived quietly, politely, through a smile, through a conversation, through a question? There is a deeply uncomfortable truth most people never talk about. Jealousy is not loud. It is precise. It knows exactly which questions to ask to destabilize you, to make you doubt yourself, to shrink you, without ever revealing itself. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "The snake that cannot shed its skin must die." Jealous people are exactly that. People trapped inside their own limitations, unable to grow, watching you shed yours. And so they speak. Not through anger. Not through insults. Through questions. In this video, we will decode the 5 questions through which jealousy truly speaks. Understanding this will sharpen your emotional intelligence. It will protect your peace. And it will give you something rare, the power to see people clearly. 1. How did you even get that? It sounds like curiosity. It isn't. There is a subtle but devastating difference between "how did you do that?" which comes from admiration, and "how did you even get that?" which comes from disbelief. The word "even" does all the damage. It carries a silent accusation that you somehow don't belong where you are, that your result is suspicious, that something doesn't add up. You got the job. How did you even get that? You bought the house. How did you even afford that? You landed the opportunity. How did you even find that? Behind this question is a person who has already decided that your success doesn't make sense, because in their mind it should have been them. Nietzsche spoke of ressentiment, a deep, simmering resentment toward those who have what we secretly desire. This question is ressentiment in its purest form. It doesn't celebrate you. It interrogates you. How to respond? Simply. Confidently. Without justification. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your own progress. 2. Aren't you getting ahead of yourself? This is the question of controlled sabotage. It wears the costume of wisdom. It sounds like concern. It feels almost like guidance. But look closer. When you share your dream, your plan, your ambition, and someone responds with, "Aren't you getting ahead of yourself?" they are not protecting you. They are projecting onto you the fear that lives inside them. You want to start the business. Aren't you getting ahead of yourself? You're planning to relocate. Isn't that a bit premature? You're setting a bold goal. Don't you think you should be realistic? Nietzsche believed that the greatest human act is self-overcoming. The courage to become more than you currently are. Jealousy cannot tolerate that courage in others. Because every time someone dares to expand, to dream bigger, to act bolder, it exposes the jealous person's own stillness. And stillness, when seen clearly, is terrifying. So they frame your movement as recklessness. They call your vision arrogance. They disguise their fear as advice. Remember this: not everyone who questions your pace is looking out for you. Some are simply uncomfortable with your speed. 3. Who helped you with that? This question refuses to let your success belong to you. You completed the project. Who helped you? You wrote something brilliant. Did someone review that for you? You achieved something remarkable. You didn't do that alone, did you? There is a beautiful arrogance in jealousy. It creates its own logic, a logic where the person they envy simply cannot be capable enough. There must be an explanation. There must be help. There must be someone behind the curtain. Because if there isn't, if you truly did it alone, through discipline, through sacrifice, through quiet determination, then what does that say about them? Nietzsche understood the psychology of denial. The human mind, when confronted with painful truths, builds walls. The jealous mind builds the wall of "they had help." It is not a question. It is a defense mechanism. Your excellence makes them uncomfortable. And they would rather dismantle your achievement than confront their own inaction. 4. But are you actually happy? This is the most elegant question jealousy ever asks. Because it sounds like depth. It sounds like emotional intelligence. It sounds like someone who truly cares about your inner world. But timing reveals everything. This question almost never arrives during your struggles. It arrives at your peaks. It surfaces when your life looks good, when your relationship is thriving, when your career is ascending, when your confidence is visible. But are you actually happy? Translation: I need there to be something wrong. Jealousy cannot coexist with your complete well-being. It requires a crack somewhere. A flaw. A hidden sadness. A price you're paying that isn't visible. Because if you are genuinely happy, if your success and your peace exist together, then there is nothing left to console themselves with. Nietzsche wrote about the will to power, not power over others but mastery over oneself. True happiness is the ultimate expression of that mastery. And jealousy despises it. Don't explain your happiness to someone who is hoping to find it incomplete. 5. How long do you think this will last? And finally, the question that targets not what you have but what you will have. Jealousy that cannot take away your present will attempt to poison your future. Your relationship is strong. These things never last. Your success is growing. Markets change, you know. Your confidence is solid. Let's see how long that holds. This question is an attempt to plant a seed of doubt so deep that you begin to dismantle your own progress from the inside. It is perhaps the most dangerous of the 5, because it doesn't attack what is real. It attacks what is possible. And possibility is where your power lives. Nietzsche's philosophy was built on one foundation: become who you are. Not who fear says you should be. Not who doubt says you can be. Who you are, completely and unapologetically. Jealousy's final weapon is the future. Because it has already lost the present. Don't let it win there either. Understanding jealousy at its root. Here is what you must carry with you. Jealousy is not evil. It is wounded. A person who is aligned with their own path, who knows their own worth, who is building their own life with intention, does not feel threatened by yours. Jealousy only speaks when someone has abandoned their own journey and begun watching yours instead. These 5 questions are not about you. They are confessions, spoken in disguise. They confess insecurity. They confess comparison. They confess the quiet grief of a life unlived. When you understand this, something shifts. You stop defending yourself. You stop shrinking yourself. You stop explaining yourself. You simply continue. How to protect your energy. 1. Do not perform your success for others. 2. Do not seek validation from those who cannot celebrate you. 3. Answer simply and move on. 4. Create distance when necessary without guilt. 5. Let your continued progress be your only response. Why this matters now. We live in an era of radical visibility. Every achievement is public. Every step forward is observed. Every success invites comparison. Jealousy has never had more fuel. Which means emotional intelligence has never been more essential. Recognizing these 5 questions gives you something extraordinary: clarity. The ability to see what is really being said beneath what is spoken. And with that clarity comes freedom. Remember this. Jealous people will never say, "I am jealous of you." They will ask questions instead. Questions that minimize. Questions that doubt. Questions that quietly search for your weakness. But here is the truth Nietzsche would want you to hold. Their questions are not your burden. They are proof. Proof that you are moving. Proof that you are visible. Proof that you are becoming someone impossible to ignore. As Nietzsche said, those who cannot create destroy. Those who cannot rise pull down. Your only obligation is to keep rising. And let the questions fall away behind you.